Good morning. I know I'm early this morning. Do you sometimes have one of those nights where you may be sleeping real well and then you wake up and you're just awake? Oh, that happened to me about 12:30 last night. Well, I went to bed around 9:30, so I got 3 good hours of sleep. And then around 12:30, I thought I heard something kind of bumping into stuff on my bedside table, just ever so slightly. And I thought, oh my gosh, is there a mouse? Because that's all I could think of that would be big enough, to maybe move things around a little bit. So I turned on the light and, I don't know if there was a mouse or not, but actually when you live in an apartment house, there can be sounds from other apartments that filter into your apartment, and it sounds like they're coming from your apartment, or it may sound like it's coming from next door, and it could be from upstairs, one apartment over, or things like that. So there might not have been anything, but I was awake. So I stayed awake, and I listened to some audio books, and I even had a cup of coffee without you, but it was like about 4:30 in the morning, so I didn't want to disturb you at that time. But here I am now, and I am going to open up, today's the 9th of December. It's about 6:15 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Let's see, where's number 9? There's 8, 9. Okay, we've got Inspirazione Roma. Okay, Rome, Italy. So these coffees are inspired by Italian espressos, and this has a caffeine content of about 63 milligrams, and it is made from Arabicas from Brazil and Mexico, and also a little bit of Robusta in there. So I was reading that to make a good cappuccino, you want to have about 1 part espresso, 1 part milk, 1 part froth. So I've got my froth over here. Let me just get that. And it's some nice oat milk froth. Okay. I'm going to taste this first, though. I've had it, I think, once before, but I don't really remember how it tasted. So, alrighty. This is supposed to have a woodsy cereal kind of taste to it. And it's got an intensity of, I think it's 8 out of, from 1 to 13. This is an 8. Now this is one of those ones that kind of gets me not a little bit on the back of my tongue. Don't like it as well as the Napoli. You know that I like Napoli. Okay, so there goes milk. And here comes froth. Now, if you have one of those steamer wands, that makes, I think, a much nicer cappuccino. But I don't. So I just make it with the hot milk and the froth. Put a little more froth on there. Make it a little prettier. Here, let me turn this around. Oh, what fun. Now, if you want to make make this into what's called an Aztec coffee, excuse me, you can put some cocoa and some cinnamon powder. So isn't this pretty? And let me stir up the milk some. remembering that this is going to be hot because the coffee's hot and the milk was hot because I frothed it up in the frother, which heats it up. This frother can also make a cold foam, but some like it hot. Oh gosh, that is tasty. Of course, I am using oat milk, and I feel like oat milk makes everything taste better. Oh, this is very good. Now, for those of you Scrabble enthusiasts, here's a new word for you. It's got 7 letters, okay? Terroir. 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 That means the entire environment in which something is grown, like it's used for wines and for coffees. So it includes the atmosphere, you know, the humidity, how much rain, how much sun, the type of earth it's grown in, whether it's windy or not, all that sort of stuff. So that would be a great Scrabble word, wouldn't it? I mean, if you had those letters, or, you know, especially if you have a lot of R's. Terroir. Anyway, pronounced terroir. It's a French word. And, you know, that's a fun one to know. And also relates to raising coffee beans and also raising grapes for wine. That's the 2 probably most prominent uses of that word. So good morning to those of you who are just coming on. I'm real early this morning because I was up half of the night. But anyway, I'm enjoying a cup of Ispirazione Roma, made as a cappuccino by adding frothed milk and the liquid hot milk also. So again, the recipe for a good cappuccino is 1 part coffee or espresso, okay? 1 part the liquid milk and 1 part froth. So I want to show you one other thing. This is my favorite Jordan Skinny syrup, maple bourbon pecan. Oh, this makes anything taste good. Now, even though this coffee tastes really good the way it is, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of this. Well, that was more than a little bit, wasn't it? I wasn't balancing that bottle real well. More came out than I wanted, but I'll give it a try. Oh, this is this is a real treat. You can really taste, actually you can taste the maple, the bourbon, and the pecan flavors in this, which is one of the reasons I love it, because it tastes like I put maple syrup in, and it's got the nutty pecan flavor, and it's got a hint of, you know, if I had put bourbon in. It's kind of nice because it's sort of, it's not the taste of bourbon as much as the odor that bourbon has, but that's the taste you're getting. You know, it's kind of like when people smell coffee brewing and they go, oh, just love the way coffee smells, but I don't like the way it tastes. Well, this has the taste of how bourbon smells, if that makes sense to you. Anyway, I hope that you have a wonderful day. You've learned a new word possibly here, great for you Scrabble folks. And you can speak about the terroir that the coffee was grown in. Was it on a high mountain or in rich volcanic soil with a lot of sunshine and brisk winds? Anyway, so on and so forth. Let me drink this before it gets cold.